Okay, I found in the Bible the first instance that I noticed of holy laughter. You know how sometimes when you're worshiping the Lord and people talk about it and stuff, but I mean, I've definitely experienced it when you're worshiping the Lord and you just have this laughter and this joy that kind of comes out of you, and just for what the Lord's done. And I've even been prayed over at the altar, and the lady put her hand on my stomach, and it brought out this like joy and this laughter that is can be healing. It talks about I think it's Proverbs 17, a merry heart does good like a medicine. Anyway, back to the point. So in Genesis, whenever Sarah and Abraham are promised that they're going to have a son, and God visits them and says, this time next year you'll have a son. So we all know that Sarah laughs at that point, and she's like laughing in disbelief and in mocking, or however you want to say it. It says, and he said, God, I will certainly return to you according to the time of life, and behold, Sarah your wife shall have a son. And then farther down it says, therefore, this is Genesis 18:12, says, therefore Sarah laughed within herself. And then after that, God says, and the Lord said to Abram, why did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I surely bear a child since I am old? And then God says, is anything too hard for the Lord? So just wait for it. So this is when Sarah laughs the first time. And at the appointed time I'll return, and you'll have a son. And then, but Sarah denied it, saying, I did not laugh, for she was afraid. And God said, no, but you did laugh. So Sarah definitely laughed the first time in disbelief. But then I noticed the other day when I was reading this, and I think it's so cool, that Sarah laughs again. And this time I think it was probably holy laughter. It was a laughter of joy. It was laughter from the Lord. And I think about how kind God is that we don't believe him, and he still does his promises for us. And even when we can't even see it or understand it, he is still fulfilling his promises, and he is going to give us holy laughter because we're going to see and rejoice in what he has done for us. So this in Genesis 21, it says, and the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah as he had spoken. And farther down it says, and Sarah said, God has made me laugh, and all who hear will laugh with me. She also said, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? For I have borne him a son in his old age. And so I just think it's so cool that Sarah laughs twice. We always talk about the negative and the one when she wasn't believing, but Sarah laughs in joy and like disbelief. I don't know exactly her emotions, but whenever God fulfills what he promised to her. And I think that it's just hopeful that all the things that God has spoken to you and spoken to us, he will fulfill them, and we will have a holy laughter out of what he has done, and we're going to rejoice in what he's going to do.